A title appears, Building Trust with Survivors of Sexual Assault. A logo, NSVRC, National Sexual Violence Resource Center. A graphic appears, Jessica Mindlin, National Director of Training and Technical Assistance, Victim Rights Law Center, Oregon.
You build trust by being there, by reaching out and not saying, this is what we can offer, but rather saying, what do you need, and how can I, as a provider, how can my agency, how can our community better meet those needs?
Sarah Deer, Professor of Law, University of Kansas, Kansas.
In order to build trust, I think you have to back up and lower the expectations on how quickly things could change. For example, in tribal communities, that kind of distrust has been ongoing for centuries, really, if we're honest about it. And so to expect the SART to be able to say within a year of its formation to be able to address that level of distrust would be, I think, unreasonable. But some of the things that can be done are to do outreach into the community. Find out who in that community is part of the response to sexual assault, maybe in an informal way. Bring them in as experts as you set up the SART, and make sure those folks are compensated. Sometimes people do outreach, expect expertise to come back, and that needs to be rewarded or compensated at a rate that would be commensurate with any other expert.
Barwako Aiden, Assistant Director, NISA African Family Services, Iowa.
Come to the people, go to their events, be part of that community, go to the church, go to the mosque to understand who are this community and who do they look like, and they are here with you in these states. They are working members of the communities, but they are also victims of sexual assaults and so many other abuses that maybe they are carrying with their a baggage that they came with and it's still happening to them. So understand these communities that you are working with.
Liliana Olvera, Project Coordinator, California Coalition Against Sexual Assault, California.
I think that we need to recognize that SARTs are part of a system, and sometimes those systems are they're not re-empowering survivors and can be very disempowering for survivors. So understanding, I think, as a SART that traditionally is very focused on the criminal justice process, that not every survivor is going to want to go that route. And that when we look at the way we form SARTs, that we understand that and include those voices of the communities, so that if the survivor does not feel comfortable going through the criminal justice process, but feels comfortable reaching out to a religious organization, that they're allowed to do that and that they're empowered to make that decision too.
Kibo Jama, Program Director, NISA African Family Services, Iowa.
Sometimes we have our own assumptions, we have our own ideas, but we don't instill those to the survivor. Let them tell us what they want, and we will work with them with what they want and what they're happy with.
Sarah Deer.
One of the things that's really important when you're doing work in Indian country, for example, is to make sure that there are people involved in the SART that are culturally connected to that community. So if you have a spiritual leader, somebody who may provide services or care to a victim, having them involved in the SART means that there's going to be more likelihood that that survivor will be connected with that cultural knowledge to help her through the next weeks or months to come in the aftermath of a sexual assault.
A quote appears, Sometimes we have our own assumptions, we have our own ideas, but we don't instill those to the survivor. Let them tell us what they want, and we will work with them with what they want and what they're happy with. Kibo Jama. Find out more at www.nsvrc.org/SART Toolkit. Special thanks to Jessica Mindlin, Sarah Deer, Barwako Aiden, Liliana Olvera, and Kibo Jama. Copyright National Sexual Violence Resource Center 2018. All rights reserved. This video was produced by Dash and Thompson under grant number 2015 VFGX K003, awarded by the Office for Victims of Crime, Office of Justice Programs, U.S. Department of Justice. The opinions, findings, and conclusions or recommendations expressed in this video are those of the contributors and do not necessarily represent the official position or policies of the U.S. Department of Justice.